Hello students, today's topic is on azygous venous system. Here is an image showing the venous system of thorax where we will identify the veins which drain the most of the thoracic region called as azygous venous system. So we have got azygous vein here. Azygous vein is present on the right side of the body. On the left side, there is no azygous. It has got hemiazygous and the accessory hemiazygous. So which we are going to discuss about these three veins in detail. Starting with the azygous vein, the term azygous means single. So azygous means no pair. It is single. Zygous means having pair. Azygous means no companion, not having its pair. Azygous system of veins consists of azygous, hemiazygous, accessory hemiazygous, which I have shown now. And these veins lie in front of the thoracic part of the vertebral column. So here is the vertebral column. So thoracic part of the vertebral column, you can see these veins are present on each side. So draining into the azygous vein. Now let us discuss first about azygous vein. Azygous, as I said, it is an unpaired vein and it is formed by the union of right subcostal and right ascending lumbar veins. So right subcostal and right ascending lumbar, they join to form azygous vein. The azygous vein is present only on the right side in the posterior mediastinum of the thorax and its upper part of the posterior. It is also present in the upper part of the posterior abdominal wall. It connects the inferior vena cava with the superior vena cava. So this is inferior vena cava, superior vena cava. So it connects inferior vena cava with the superior vena cava, and as its lower end communicates with the inferior vena cava, it forms an important collateral channel connecting the superior and inferior vena cava. It is the first tributary of superior vena cava. So if you see here, this is superior vena cava. So this is azygous vein, which is the So it is the first tributary of superior vena cava and it is provided with valves like other veins. Let's see the formation of azygous vein. The formation of azygous vein is variable. Already I said it is formed because of the union of right subcostal and right ascending lumbar veins. They join to form the azygous vein. Usually they both join at the level of T12. At the level of T12. In some individuals, it is the continuation of right subcostal vein. So only right subcostal vein continues as azygous vein, and sometimes it may arise from the posterior aspect of inferior vena cava. So directly it may arise from the posterior aspect of inferior vena cava near the renal veins. Occasionally it may arise from the right renal and right first lumbar veins. So right renal and right lumbar veins, they join to form azygous vein in rare cases. So let's see the course and termination. So here in this image we can see this is the azygous vein. So azygous vein, it enters the thorax by passing through the right crus of diaphragm through the aortic opening. So here this is the So the azygous vein runs along with the aorta and it enters the posterior mediastinum. So in the thorax, it enters the posterior mediastinum. So what you are seeing here is the posterior mediastinum and arches over the root of the lung. So here is the arch. Arch is not seen clearly. So arches over the root of right lung. And after arching over the root of the right lung, that is above the hilum of the right lung, it empties, means it terminates into the superior vena cava at the level of T4. So here it terminates. This is superior vena cava at the level of T4. So one thing you have to remember, it forms at the level of T12 and terminates at the level of T4. So T4, to tell at the costal cartilage level, it is present at the level of second costal cartilage. And it drains the venous blood from the thoracic wall of upper lumbar region. So it drains from the thoracic wall and also from the upper lumbar region. The azygous vein, after formation, it ascends and leaves the abdomen. So after formation, we see it leaves the abdomen. Let's see the relations of azygous vein. Anteriorly, it is related to right edge of esophagus. Here, all the anterior structures are removed to expose the azygous vein. So anteriorly, it is related to esophagus. So anterior relations, it's related to esophagus. Posteriorly, it is related to the lower 8 thoracic vertebra. You can see lower 8 thoracic vertebra here. 8, 7, all these are vertebrae. So lower 8 means T4 to T12 thoracic vertebra. And to the right, it is related to the right lung, pleura and great splanchnic nerves. So on towards the right side, this is the right side and this is the left side. So it is related to the right lung and its pleura covering it. And it is also related to the greater splanchnic nerves, right greater and lesser splanchnic nerves. So these are the right side relations. So anteriorly it is related to esophagus, posteriorly it is related to T4 to T12, right side it is related to right lung, pleura, greater and lesser splanchnic nerves. Towards the left side, it is related to thoracic duct. You can see the thoracic duct towards the left. This green beaded like structure is the thoracic duct and it is related to descending thoracic aorta to the left. The other structures are descending aorta and it is also related to the right border of esophagus. So these are the structures related to the left side of the azygous vein. Let's see the tributaries of azygous vein. Lower 7 right posterior intercostal veins except the first. So we can see the posterior intercostal veins. So lower 7 posterior intercostal veins. The right superior intercostal vein. So this is the right superior intercostal vein, which is formed by the union of second, third, fourth right posterior intercostal veins. So this is second, third and fourth right posterior intercostal veins. Hemiazygous vein drains at the level of T8, that is the lower border of the T8 we can see here, and accessory hemiazygous vein which drains approximately at the level upper border of T8 vertebra. So these two are the left side veins which drains into the azygous vein. And also the right subcostal vein. So this is the right subcostal vein where we saw its formation. Right bronchial vein which drains the lungs, and right ascending lumbar. Here is the right ascending lumbar, and esophageal veins with the exception of lower end of the esophageal. Rest of the esophageal veins also drain into the azygous vein. Mediastinal veins and pericardial veins drain into the azygous vein. In case if there is an obstruction of superior vena cava. So if there is an obstruction of the superior vena cava, azygous vein aids to maintain the collateral circulation. So it is a main collateral channel to shunt the blood from the upper half of the body to inferior vena cava. So that is the major clinical aspect of azygous vein. Okay, next moving on to hemiazygous vein. Hemiazygous vein lies in the left side of the posterior mediastinum, and it corresponds only to the lower part of the azygous vein. So here is the hemiazygous vein represents the left sided equivalent part, inferior part of azygous vein. Let's see the formation of hemiazygous. It is formed by the union of left subcostal and ascending lumbar veins. Ascending lumbar vein similar to the formation of azygous vein on the left side, and in some individuals it may arise from the posterior surface of the left renal vein directly, or so its lower end may be connected to the left renal vein. So here is the renal vein. So you can see the connection. So the connection is shown. So it can be a direct formation from the renal vein sometimes. Let's see about the course and tributaries and termination of hemiazygous vein. Hemiazygous vein pierces the left crus of the diaphragm and it ascends the vertically upwards in front of the left side of the vertebral column up to the level of T8. So you can see here up to the level of T8 it ascends. So at the T8 it takes a turn towards the right and it crosses in front of the vertebral column and running posterior to the aorta, esophagus, thoracic duct and to terminate in the azygous vein. So that's how it terminates into the azygous vein. So it receives lower posterior intercostal veins, to be specific 9th, 10th and 11th posterior intercostal veins. So 9th, 10th, 11th posterior intercostal veins, and it also receives left subcostal. This is 9th, this is 10th, this is 11th. Here is the left subcostal veins and left ascending lumbar vein. This is ascending lumbar veins, and also small esophageal and mediastinal veins are also the tributaries of this hemiazygous vein. So after hemiazygous, accessory hemiazygous. Accessory hemiazygous is otherwise known as superior hemiazygous vein. Superior azygous vein it is, and this accessory hemiazygous vein, it lies on the left side only. So it is not on the right, it lies on the left side. It is a left sided mirror image of upper portion, that is the superior portion of azygous vein. Let's see its course and termination. The accessory hemiazygous vein brings the medial end of the left 4th or 5th intercostal space and descends into the left side of the vertebral column and at the level of T8. So it descends down till the level of T8. and it turns towards the right, and where it passes in front of the vertebral column, posterior to the aorta, esophagus and thoracic duct, and finally terminates into the azygous vein. It begins in the 4th or 5th intercostal space. So here is between 4th or 5th intercostal space, where it receives 5th to 8th. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. 5th to 8th intercostal veins, and it drains into the azygous vein at the level of T8 thoracic vertebra. Occasionally, the terminal parts of the hemiazygous and accessory hemiazygous, they join together to form a common venous channel which crosses across the vertebral column and opens into the azygous vein. So let's talk about the tributaries of the accessory hemiazygous. So the tributaries are 5th to 8th left posterior intercostal. So 5th to 8th. Left posterior intercostal veins, occasionally left bronchial veins also. Okay, next about the superior intercostal vein. Superior intercostal vein, it is formed by the union of 2nd to 4th posterior intercostal veins and drains into the azygous vein on the right and brachiocephalic vein on the left. So here is the superior intercostal vein on the right. Where it is draining into azygous on the right. On the left side, superior intercostal vein drains into brachiocephalic vein. And we shall talk about posterior intercostal veins also, which run in the costal groove of the ribs and majorly drain in the thoracic wall. So all these posterior intercostal veins, what you are seeing here on each side, they majorly drain the intercostal space. Most of the thoracic wall is drained by the posterior intercostal veins. So this completes the azygous venous system. Thank you.